Men are allowed to bleed, but not cry. I went to a personal development workshop and I heard a guy say this. This was something that his dad taught him when he was a kid, that it's okay for men to bleed, but not to cry. And when he told me that, it just brought so much stuff back from when I was a kid. And I'm going to share with you what impact that had on me, being told as a kid that it's not okay to show your emotions, that it's not okay to be vulnerable, that you have to put on this strongman facade. Because it was one of the single most destructive themes for me growing up. I've just done an hour-long post in a private group around mental health where I've just shared a load of stuff. And this was one of the themes that came up that I just feel I should share with all you guys, that I should share publicly. So I'm going to be very candid in this. I'm going to tell you things that, you know, a lot of people don't know. And I'm sure it's going to serve a lot of you. I'm just going to speak from the heart. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to let it come out. So for me growing up, I grew up in an environment where violence was just pretty normal. My mum and dad met in a gang, very well-known gang. And a lot of my dad's friends are gangsters, you know. So when you have issues in those kind of environments, you know, they live by their own rules, you know. If someone screws you over, you beat them up, right? Or worse. And the town I grew up in was a very small town. And again, I grew up around all these people who resolved all their issues with fighting, with violence. That's how you did it, you know. As a man, if you felt something, you just suppressed it and suppressed it and suppressed it, and you keep it down and keep it bottled up. And then what happens? Something tiny happens that sparks it, and boom, you explode. And that's what happened to me. That's what I did for so many years of being so angry and now I know a different way, but it took me a long journey to figure that out. And I just want to share with those of you who may be watching that as a guy, what I've found now is your vulnerability, being open and honest and vulnerable, is actually my greatest strength. The more vulnerable I am with people, the more open I am, the more honest I am, the more people are actually drawn to me, the more people are attracted to me. I can see a lot of you watching. Comment, let me know who you are. Let me know how you are. Let me know if this resonates with you. So basically what happens as a kid, when you're a boy and you fall over, you get told to man up. They say, stop crying, stop being a baby. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a girl. These are the things that are said over and over and over and over until you associate crying with being a wuss, being a wimp, being a girl, not being strong. And anything you tell someone, if you tell them it enough times, it's going to sink into their brain. They're going to learn that. They're going to think that. They're going to believe that. What I see now is that the men I know who are actual leaders, real leaders, who actually own their feelings and know how to express them, they're all vulnerable, they're all open, they're all honest, they all share. When things aren't going well, they don't pretend everything's okay. I worked in corporate in one of the biggest companies in the world, multi-billion-dollar company, for 5 years. And people would come into work and they would be so depressed. But someone would say, how are you doing? And they go, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay. Not bad. And then they would go to their desk and you'd see them just put their head in their hands. And they are on they're depressed. A lot of them are on the verge of suicide, literally that bad. And what they actually say is, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm okay. Not bad. And they don't express themselves. They're just not honest. They're just not open. So why am I making this video? My girlfriend said, Luke, I think you should make a video and just allow men, give men the space, create the space to let them know that it's okay to be vulnerable, that it's okay to share their feelings, that it's okay to show that they're not perfect and that they have fears and that they have weaknesses and that they don't have all the answers. So guys who are watching this, that's my message to you. I hope that seeing me be vulnerable, seeing me be honest, seeing me be open gives you some permission on some level to be that. The more vulnerable you are, honestly, the more I seem to attract the right kind of people. For the women who are watching, there's something that I want you to know. In my experience, guys will be honest and will be open until it's not safe to do so. And what do I mean by that? I went to a workshop with my girlfriend, a workshop by a lady called Marianne Williamson. And I went with my girlfriend and my great friend, and they're both very spiritual and they're both very open. And Marianne was talking about how for a guy to express himself is a big deal. And what a lot of guys do is they express themselves and then their girlfriend shuts them down, or their wife shuts them down, or their friends shut them down and say, no, you're wrong. Now, next time, he's not going to express his opinions. He's not going to share that stuff. He's not going to be open. And when we got out of the workshop, they asked, how did I find it? Because I'd never even heard of this woman before. And I said, I don't really think it was that great. She taught great content, but it doesn't really resonate with me. It was, and I started talking about how I could have improved it and how, I think if she did this, it would be even better. And they went, no, you're wrong. And this is just after a 2-hour seminar where they were told not to shut guys down. They said, no, you're wrong. And I just reminded them, I said, we've just literally been to the seminar and you've learned this. And now the first thing you're doing as we walk out is shutting me down. But it's so programmed into us, especially I see this with women. There's this thing, right? The woman's always right. There's loads of jokes about it, right? In a marriage, the woman's always right. The husband just agrees. Whatever the woman says. The husbands are stupid. Guys are stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They're just idiots. Guys are idiots. Anyone agree? Do you know what I'm talking about? That's kind of drummed in, right? So the guy is open. Women always say, I want him to be more open. I want him to express himself more. I want him to be more vulnerable. I want him to share how he feels. Think about this, ladies. When your guy does share some of his weakness, do you then shut him down? Do you then think less of him? Because even if you don't say you think less of him, he'll feel it. If he says, look, I'm really struggling right now and I just don't know what to do. And I'm really quite overwhelmed and I just don't know what to do. I know most women would see that as a sign of weakness and they would shut him down. But we need to encourage these kind of things. We need to let people know it's okay so they don't have to pretend that they're strong all the time and they can come in and they can take off this strong suit. And I say this with all the love in the world for you ladies, all the love in the world. It's not a simple quick fix. It's years and years of programming that you're going to have to uncondition. But when a guy does share his opinion with you, when a guy does open up to you and he does express himself, encourage it. Even if you don't agree with it, say thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that you trust me enough to share that stuff with me. I really appreciate that you feel comfortable enough to let me know that you don't have everything figured out, that you're not Superman. Superman, that's an interesting one. Expect guys to be like a superhero, right? To come to the rescue. Sometimes I know for me, sometimes all I want to do is just lie on the couch and put my head on my girlfriend's lap and just have her stroke my hair for a while. And especially if I've had a bad day, and especially if things aren't going well, I just want to know someone's there for me and they support me and they love me and they're holding that space. You have to let them know that it's okay to do this. And guys, you have to make the effort to tell and be honest with whoever's in your life. It can be women, it can be guys. I'll talk about guys on guys in a minute. You need to be honest and open with them and say, hey, look, I really want to have more love and connection with you. I really want to be more open with you. But every time I do, you shut me down. And then they'll probably go, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm going to say, look, you just did it again. It's a gradual thing. We're all learning here. It's a beautiful journey. Guys on guys who are watching, do not do that typical hypey masculine bullshit where you like say man up, stop being a wuss, stop being a pussy, stop being a wimp, stop acting like a girl. Those kind of things are so damaging, especially to kids. If you're a father, especially to kids. I even see mums doing it. I've seen mums calling their sons pussies before, and wimps and wusses. I've got a good friend whose kid used to cry all the time, and she would just introduce him, like she'd say, just ignore him, he's just a wimp. Just ignore him, he's just a wuss. Imagine hearing your mum say that to strangers. That's how she introduces you to people, just because you're crying. Craziness. Veronica, how do they leave the baggage? How do men leave the baggage? Women leave the baggage? It's just a gradual process. Once you're aware of it, you'll catch yourself. Next time a guy opens up to you, you'll catch yourself. And if you make a mistake, that's cool. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Just own up to it. People get on this high horse like, I'm right, no, it's your fault, no, it's your fault, I blame you. It's like, never ends. Never ends. Veronica says, yeah, both. It's about creating this space. I have this thing that I say, if I want to get more love and connection with someone, I say this to them. The first thing is I say directly to them. I say, you're really important to me. And I really want to get more love and connection between us. Imagine the power of saying that to someone. Who do you love right now? Who is in your life that you would like to be closer to? Imagine the power of just saying that single phrase to them. You are really important to me. And I really would love to get some more love and connection between us. Powerful. Your intention is set. And now I follow up with the second thing. After you've said that to them, after you let them know that they're important and you appreciate them, say this. What can we do to get more love and connection between us? And then just be quiet. And now in their brain, you've just told them they're important to you. You want to have more love and connection. And now you're asking them how. Whatever they say then, listen to it. Just listen. That's a very powerful exercise for deepening your connection with someone. Mia, I'm not reading that out. That's naughty. That kind of jockey guy behavior is really interesting to me because that's what it was like growing up, Whoever could drink the most, whoever could fight the hardest, whoever slept with the most girls, they were the guys that were like, yeah, he's a proper lad. I was in the rugby team. It's like, yeah, lads, who can down a pint the fastest? Who can throw the hardest punch? When you're judging your masculinity on those things, it's crazy. For me now, I love attracting guys who are open and honest and vulnerable. But here's what happened when I used to be vulnerable as a kid. People would say, oh, he's gay. Stop acting so gay. Why are you being such a puff? Anytime I would express emotion or talk about how I felt, that's what my friends would say. That was what my family would say. Oh, why are you being such a puff? Stop being so gay. I used to love musicals, and I used to be in musicals, and I've been in like Mamma Mia and Oliver and My Fair Lady and all these kind of plays. And again, I used to get bullied, severely bullied. Oh, he's gay. He must be gay. He likes singing and dancing and acting. I'm talking about feelings. So what happens? You shut it down. Guys, girls, I just want to leave you with this. All relationships have two parties. We co-create everything. If the person in your life right now, guy or girl, is not showing up how you want them to, take responsibility for it. When you change, everything changes. And if you want things to change, you have to change. Let's create this culture now where we can be honest and open and vulnerable and share and talk about our feelings and say when we don't feel great, and ask for support and ask for help. And ladies, when a guy does do that to you and asks that from you, be supportive. Tell them you're there for them. Make them feel like they can be open and honest with you. And if you drop the ball at all, for any reason, just own up to it. You're not going to be perfect. You're not going to get it right the first time. But every time, just try and act a little bit differently, a little bit better, a little bit more loving, a little bit more compassionate. And bit by bit, you'll get to that place where you have more love and connection in your life. I hope that served you. I hope that created a space where you can share. I'd love to see more guys sharing about their vulnerability and being open and being honest. And if I can help you in any way to do that, just let me know, guys. Girls, let me know too. And yeah, lots of love to you. Have a great night.